All right, let's get right into it. If you're a successful broker, I bet you know this feeling. You're pulling in a massive GCI, which is great, but you're also probably the most exhausted person at your firm. The problem is, your high income is completely chained to your personal marketing effort. It feels like every single dollar you earn requires your own direct manual work. Today, we're going to talk about how to finally break out of that trap. This idea of a golden cage, man, it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? From the outside, it looks like you've made it. Huge revenue, big deals, but on the inside, you are completely stuck. You're way too busy closing deals to be a full-time content creator. And you know what happens? The moment a new listing drops, your entire marketing machine just grinds to a halt. And this right here, this is the tension we're all dealing with. On one side, you've got the goal, massive GCI. We love that. But on the other side is the method that so many of us fall back on, our own manual labor. I'm talking about writing every single post, drafting every email, approving every little image. This isn't scalable. In fact, it's a one-way ticket to burnout.
Let's just be brutally honest for a second. If your company's market presence depends entirely on your personal free time, you haven't really built a business system. You've just created a severe dependency on, well, on yourself. You become the single point of failure. If you get sick, if you go on vacation, or you just get buried in a complex deal, poof, the entire marketing operation freezes. This isn't just a workflow problem, it's a massive business risk.
And this dependency, it actually has a name. We call it the fragility tax. It's this huge, hidden cost that your business pays for being so reliant on you. And this isn't just about you feeling tired, it's a real economic tax. It's what fuels your burnout and it crushes your firm's value because the platform can't generate its own pipeline or even stay visible without you personally intervening all the time.
The good news is, there's a way out, but it requires a strategic shift in how you think. To build a durable, lasting advisory platform, you have to move from being the person who does all the work to being the person who designs the system for the work. The goal is to make that leap from leader manual labor to systemic execution. So let's talk about how to build that system.
And here it is, the solution, the content cascade. The core idea here is simple, leverage. You, the leader, focus on creating one high-value, long-form asset. Think like a detailed market report, a video update, a deep analysis. Then your team, your platform, takes that one thing and breaks it down into 10 or more micro-assets. We're talking social posts, emails, short videos, flyers. One brilliant idea becomes many, and you don't have to touch every single piece.
Now, this is maybe the most powerful way to think about this new model. Your role completely changes. You provide the brain. That's the unique market insight, the strategic thinking that only you can bring to the table. The platform, your team and your systems, provides the body. They handle all the formatting, the distribution, the scheduling. You provide the strategy, they provide the execution. It's a game changer.
Okay, let's get practical. How do we actually do this? It's called the insight slicing exercise. Step 1 is to identify a pillar insight. This could be a recent big win or a key market trend you've noticed. Step 2, you define the slicing strategy. How can we take this one insight and turn it into 5 different formats for 5 different channels? And finally, step 3, delegation. You assign specific team members to create and distribute each one of those micro assets. And here's what that actually looks like when you put it to work. This is a super simple standard operating procedure, or SOP. You define the main pillar asset, say the Q1 market report. Then you just assign out the micro assets. The LinkedIn post, that goes to marketing. The email newsletter, that goes to your admin. The direct mailer, that goes to ops. See, it's a clear, repeatable system that runs without you having to be involved day to day. So what's the immediate payoff? You remove the content bottleneck constraint. And that bottleneck, let's be real, is you. By delegating the slicing and dicing and distributing of your content, you maximize your marketing output while you minimize your own manual labor. And that means your firm stays highly visible even when you're totally swamped with a big deal. Now, to really make sure this concept sticks, there are 2 gates you have to pass. First is the knowledge gate. You have to be able to clearly explain the fragility tax of being totally dependent on the leader. And second, the implementation gate. You need to actually do it. You have to complete the artifact, proving that one of your pillar assets can create 5 different pieces of content, all managed by your team. Okay, let's switch gears. Time for some straight talk. You are an institutional advisor, not a full-time social media manager. If your marketing goes completely dark every single time you get busy, you don't have a platform. You have a fragile hobby.
So it's time to look at your systems objectively and answer 3 simple questions.
First up, the absence test. If you were totally off the grid for the next 30 days, no calls, no emails, could your team autonomously take a pillar asset and create a full month of content to keep the platform running? Or would your marketing just instantly freeze without your manual labor?
Second question, the autonomy check. Have you really truly empowered your team with a strict set of expectations, a service level agreement, to repurpose and distribute content on their own? Or, if we're being honest with ourselves, are you secretly hoarding all the marketing duties because your ego needs to personally approve every single email?
And finally, asset validation. Does your firm have the kind of systematic marketing engine that's required to command a premium institutional cap rate? Or is your current high GCI just bankrolling a system that is completely and totally unsustainably dependent on your personal exhaustion?
Look, the path forward is clear. This is the mandate for building something that's durable, something that will outlast your own personal energy. Cascade the insight, delegate the distribution, build the platform.